Hey, welcome to another edition of The Screen Team. It's right here on Today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. We're going to be doing some comic book movies for you. That's just how we roll this afternoon. So I tell you what, I needed some help with the comic book genre, so I got two of the finest experts here in Southeast Missouri to help me. We got Michael Bowling and we got Kadam. Gentlemen, it's good to see you tonight. How are we doing?
Doing pretty good. A little bit tired, but that's about it.
Doing well, Chris. How are you doing?
Doing very, very well. Michael, you wanted to do some comic book movies. What do we have in store for our listeners this evening?
All right. Well, we have a movie that's currently in theaters right now. We have Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's the latest movie in the Avengers series, directed by... is it directed by Joss Whedon, or is it just written by him? I think it's both written and directed by him. You guys may know him from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the short-lasted Firefly series, a bunch of other nerdy stuff like that. We also have the 2003 Ben Affleck movie Daredevil. I'm not going to tell you anything about that. You'll hear about that here in just a minute. And then we have the 2004 Thomas Jane and John Travolta movie The Punisher.
All right, so let's start off with Daredevil. This movie came out back in 2003. Stars our boy Ben Affleck. Who does he play? He plays Daredevil, right?
Yes, he plays Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil.
And what's Matt Murdock's deal? He's blind, right?
Yes, Matt Murdock is a blind lawyer. He was blinded when he was a boy, when he had this toxic material splash into his eyes. Mm-hmm. And, of course, as in all the comics from like the 60s and 70s, radioactive equals superpowers. So in Daredevil's case, he may be blind, but his other four senses were heightened to superhuman levels. So he almost has his echolocation sense, kind of like a bat. So he doesn't see in the physical sense, but he sees in like every other sense. What's so funny? Why are you guys laughing at me?
Why don't we just watch Batman?
Yeah.
Because Batman doesn't see like a freaking bat, okay?
Oh man. Okay, so we got Ben
But he will
Affleck.
be playing a bat later on, so
That's very, very true. So we got Ben Affleck as Daredevil here, and who's the villain in this film?
The main villain, the main antagonist, is the Kingpin, played by Michael Clark Duncan, the late Michael Clark Duncan. Mm-hmm. Kingpin is basically what his title says he is. He's a kingpin of crime. He's a well-known individual in this part of the world. He's very wealthy. He donates a lot. He's kind of like a Lex Luthor in this case. He's very wealthy. A lot of people like him, but a lot of people don't know of his criminal activity behind the scenes. But Daredevil does. But Daredevil doesn't really fight Kingpin until like the very last scene in the movie, so he's kind of like this behind-the-scenes character. The villain that Daredevil spends most of his time with is Bullseye, being played by Colin Farrell exceptionally well. I think he was the best character done in this entire film. Mm-hmm. He's an Irish assassin who, as his name may tell you, he never misses. He can use any little thing as a projectile and just throw it with keen accuracy, whether it be a paperclip, a toothpick, or one of Daredevil's batons. You know, he can throw anything and it'll hit the mark. As he says in the movie, he never misses.
So how does Daredevil escape this marksman?
Because Daredevil is awesome, okay? Short answer, Daredevil is awesome. His heightened sense allows him to react a lot faster to things that us normal humans wouldn't be able to. So I think that is really interesting how they paired up these two with such heightened abilities and reflexes. They put them together and see what happens, and you know it was an enjoyable part of the movie.
So we have our characters all told out to our audience here. What are your thoughts on Daredevil? Do you like it, Mike?
As a whole, no. Daredevil
That hurts.
Okay. Ben Affleck as Daredevil was not bad. Okay, a lot of people don't like Ben Affleck because of his association with this movie, but it wasn't really his fault. It was more of a special effects thing. The special effects sucked.
Yeah,
it was just like he was just jumping. You can tell there was green screens everywhere. He was just like flying through the air. Like, how the heck is he doing all that? And the writing was not too great. It wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of, does this get going? It moved along really, really fast. It didn't give you a lot of time to soak in the characters' personalities or like the plot. It just kind of moved you from one scene to the other. So it's very fast. It's very fast. It's not. It's a little hard to wrap your mind about everything that's going on. But Colin Farrell as Bullseye is probably my favorite part of this entire movie. I haven't seen a movie that I didn't like Colin Farrell in, and this is no exception. He played a very well Daredevil. Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, I don't really have an issue with, except for the fact that I don't know of a variation of Kingpin in the comics where he was black. He's always been a big white bald guy. in the movie he's big and bald, but he's black, not white.
Right.
So, but Michael Clark Duncan is Michael Clark Duncan, excuse me. He is such a fantastic actor, and he's very threatening. He's so huge and muscular that he has the right personality and stature to play Kingpin. So I don't have that much of an issue with it.
All right, Katem, your thoughts on Daredevil? It sounds like you like this film.
It was decent. I mean, it was one of the first superhero movies that I've ever seen. My brother kind of cried. Yeah.
Hold on, your brother cried?
Yeah, at the end. I don't want to spoil it.
Cried because it was horrible, or cried because he was emotionally involved in the movie?
Emotionally involved. Don't tell him I said that, though. He'd kill me.
Wow, I'm impressed by that. Didn't know that was possible.
He's a guy who cuts down trees and everything like that. He's a big buff guy. Now he's about 5'6".
And he cried at Daredevil.
He cried at Daredevil.
Very nice.
But it was a pretty good movie. Ben Affleck, huge fan of him. Loved the Daredevil kind of scene, like what Michael said about Kingpin. It was kind of different. I did read a couple comic books with Daredevil and Kingpin, that kind of thing, and it was kind of weird. But other than that, pretty well liked it.
So have you guys seen the new Netflix series, Daredevil?
I was hoping you'd ask me that.
Oh, yeah.
I did. I watched the entire series. I didn't watch it in one sitting, as most people would probably do with Netflix. But I have a job and school, so I have an excuse not to watch it all. But I did manage to watch all 13 episodes, and I absolutely loved it.
Really?
This is how Daredevil should be.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was pretty kind of dark and adult themed. Is that pretty?
It was,
accurate?
yes. That's a fair description. Daredevil, the comics themselves, Daredevil's just a dark character. He's not comical. He's not real lighthearted like some of the other like the other Marvel superheroes. Mm-hmm. He is a lot darker, and the TV series is rated TV mature, if that tells you anything. It's quite violent. It deals with a lot of dark themes. So yes, this TV series is a lot darker than the movie anyway.
So after seeing the series, do you want to see Marvel take another stab at Daredevil on the big screen?
I like to see it. Yeah, Daredevil. I really like Daredevil. I'm a pretty big fan of his. The TV series has kind of rekindled my liking of him. Yeah. That's a word. Yes. So I would really like to see another Daredevil project. I like them to keep going with the TV series for a while. If I do want them to make another movie, probably won't be until 5 or 6 years down the road when the show has really made a name for itself, which it already kind of has in a way. But I like them to keep the TV series where it's going, and maybe if it gets big enough, make another movie. Maybe with the same characters and same plot line and everything like that, because they have a good thing going right now. So,
Kaden, would you want to see a reboot of Daredevil on the big screen?
It depends.
Depends on what?
As long as you're the Daredevil. Sorry. Ben Affleck. I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck, but
Why?
I've never seen... Why?
Why?
Because I like Ben Affleck.
All right.
I haven't ever found an issue with him. My parents don't really like him, but I'm just like, why? I haven't really seen him.
I knew I liked Michael. I knew it.
Thank you, Katem.
See?
All right, let's move on. We're gonna try to do better with the Punisher.
Yay!
That's coming your way next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.